And welcome to a very
Cool.
special episode of Sports Vibe. I'm calling this Just Vibing. It's like it's actually just vibing. So yeah, it's the non-sports um part of Sports Vibe, I guess. It's kind of like non-sports episodes where we just talk about like whatever, like different things. Like we have a little bit of an outline for what we're going to talk about today, but I've kind of had the vision for this like from a couple months ago. I was like, well, I think it'd be kind of cool if we just had conversations like usual, but they're like, like just chill and yeah, I mean not sports related. And I thought it would be cool. So I mean, I'm glad to have you on as my first guest. Obviously, like we're friends from band last year. Like that was a lot of fun. We'll talk some stuff about that. But I guess first of all, like, how's your summer?
Oh, could you repeat the question? I didn't.
Oh, yeah, like yeah, just like how maybe you could like introduce yourself first, I guess. But like, how's your summer? Like what have you been up to? And are you excited about like going back to school and stuff like that?
So I'm Audrey. I'm gonna be a sophomore in college, and I've been having a good time this summer, just mostly spending time with family and just doing an internship. Make sure to use the summer to get ahead on personal and professional stuff. Like you're never gonna get these 4 months of break in your life again, so make the most of them. So that's what I tried to do. So I went to Puerto Rico, went to the beach, family. It was great. Honestly, it was great. But I'm glad to be back and I'm excited to start school again and all the challenges that this upcoming year will bring. What
Awesome,
about
yeah.
you?
Sounds great. So, I'm Arnav, I run the SportsVibe podcast, and different stuff with like, I'm part of the radio station. So I've been doing a lot of stuff with that and like obviously the podcast writing sports articles kind of been my like the main focus of my summer, just kind of staying home doing different things like that. Recently I just went to Alabama. I visited my friend who is also on the podcast with me. We visited like a lot of different places like nature and like, historic like landmarks. We went to a couple football stadiums. I got to take a picture wearing Nick Saban. Does his press conferences, which is really cool because, they're one of the best teams in the country. So obviously, as a college football fan, like you're gonna have appreciation for that. And I mean, as a Rutgers fan, like it's a big deal here. Like you can only imagine how big of a deal it is down the south. So yeah, I mean, it was a pretty cool time. We
Yeah.
went to Tennessee. We saw like some nature stuff, like some waterfalls and the Battle of Chattanooga. Some stuff like that. So great views. No, it's just a good time. I mean, yeah, I mean, as for like, I guess the school year, like I'm pretty excited about that. Starting a new major. I'm doing like journalism and media studies. And I'm continuing my stuff at the radio station. Obviously, like this year, I guess I'm hoping to get some more calls. Kind of been kind of like a big thing for me because I kind of quit band to do that, and I'm trying to see how that exactly plays out. I'm also on some productions and doing the usual radio show, and yeah, I mean it's just cool to get. I'm gonna get to see people again. Hopefully get to visit the band also, and take new classes that I really do have an interest in. Probably for the first time in a long time. So I mean, all of that's pretty exciting. Football season's right around the corner. I think week 0 starts this Saturday. Week 1 for college football starts next Saturday. It's like when every team plays. Rutgers has a special Sunday edition game, and yeah, other than that, I mean, NFL's right around the corner too. So it's an exciting time. I don't think I've ever been as excited as I am for a new school year. Usually I'm like dreading it. I'm like, oh man, like we have to go back to school. Like this sucks. Like, but this time around it's like, I've had a nice summer. I'm still like gonna miss it. Like I kind of just like not having a ton to do, but at the same time, like, I think it'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, I mean that's kind of how like my summer's been so far. And yeah, looking forward to school year. I can't wait to get back to the swing of things again. And, we'll go from there, I guess. So,
That's awesome. It's
yeah,
honestly a really good sign to be excited for the next school year because it means that things are on the right track. Like sometimes we force ourselves into paths that we think are good for us because everybody says are good for us. But honestly, follow your passion. Follow your passion. Follow your happiness. That's really important, especially in college.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's like the whole thing. Like, it was kind of a big deal for me to, change my major and all of that. And, there was kind of some pushback at first, but, I think things are starting to come around, on that. It's just, yeah, I mean, finding your passion is really important because you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life. And you want to do something that makes you happy, that you enjoy. Because one thing to, struggle for a few years in school, which you can do, but then to do it for your career, like, it's just hard, even if there is more money in some fields that you might not want to do. Like, I'd still advise, like, I'd still say you should do what you want. And if that's a traditional field that your parents want you to do, then, like, that works perfectly. But if not, like, I think you should be able to, do what you want. I mean, you know, the opportunities are there. I mean, I've been kind of fortunate to kind of find something that I really wanted to do. And, you know, obviously you should have a path. Like, you shouldn't just do it completely blindly. But I mean, you should know where, like,
Yeah,
your success is gonna be and stuff like that. And you should have a path to get there. But, if it takes a while and if it looks different from other people, or, if you might have to struggle at first, if you're willing to put in the work and the dedication, whatever field, then I think that's just something you should do, and something you should go for. So I don't know, that's like kind of my personal belief.
definitely.
Yeah. My mom's been like really
Definitely.
supportive
One
about
thing,
that too. So yeah.
oh,
Yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
One
No,
thing
it's okay.
my uncle said one time that really stuck with me is that if you're like sufficiently good enough at anything you do, eventually you will succeed. And this applies to whichever field you're doing. So yeah, those are some words to live by um in this current landscape. Um
hmm Yeah. Yeah, my mom's kind of like the same way. So yeah, she's kind of inspired me to, like, do what I want. And she's been like behind it. Like, she also kind of has the same thing. Like, she's a teacher, but she really enjoys it. So, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, so she kind of like she was okay with me making the switch. It was kind of like a big thing because I did 3 years of business school, and, like, I was getting to the point where it was getting harder and harder and more into, like, finance, accounting, like, stuff that I was, like, even less interested in and less good at, and I was kind of just barely making it. And I was just like, I think it's time for me to make a career switch. And I was also kind of finding myself in the radio station, like, spending tons of time there doing, like, all these things that, like, I probably didn't even have to do, but, trying to get myself ahead, which everyone kind of does to, like, some extent at least. But it's just, I guess, just my passion, like, watching sports, talking about it. So instead of, being a super sports fan and, like, spending all my time on that and then still trying to do finance, I was like, why don't I, like, put my passions where, like, my career is going? Like, why don't I, like, make everything line up, so, like, I'm not just wasting my time here and, detracting from, like, what I should be doing in terms of career. Why don't I, like, try to make my career related to that, since I have a passion to, be, like, sports announcer on a talk show or something like that. But at the very least, work somewhere, like, in the industry, and I can, work my way up from there, because it's kind of a career where, you start somewhere and you climb up, but then eventually you can reach a lot of success.
I definitely agree with that, but something else to keep in mind is while it's really important to be passionate about your job, you can have other passions outside of work, outside of school. You can also pursue a job and also pursue your passions outside of it. It's just important to keep those passions in your life. Like, for example, I'm really into music. I was in marching band with Arnav. And it was a great experience. While I'm not majoring in music, I still take guitar lessons. I still did band. I still like to write songs. So it's really important to keep those passions, not only your career, but your hobbies. And that also makes you like a more interesting and like healthier person. So that's something that I like to live by.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree with that. I think that's, yeah, it's really important. I was also really involved with music and band and stuff. I used to play piano when I was younger. I went to some competitions, kind of how I ended up going into band in school because a lot of the percussion, like in the pit, like a lot of those instruments are kind of more similar. So in band, I was always playing like marimba or xylophone. I ended up playing more xylophone bells because I was more two mallets, but then synthesizer in like the pit and stuff like that. And then I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed doing college band. Um, I mean, everything just came together. I made friends. Our section's very tight. Like we're kind of a little different from the other sections because we don't march. We push our instruments
For
onto the
sure.
field. We spend a lot of time away from the rest of the band, and also a lot of time with the rest of the band too.
Yeah.
But certainly a lot more time away from the rest
Mostly
of the band doing
within
our own thing, right? Yeah, what are you gonna say?
I also really enjoyed Pitt to get the opportunity to play in front of so many people
Oh
and to
yeah.
like
Mhm.
it improved me like musically. Like I made a lot of friends, like Arnav, my current roommate. She is also
Mhm.
she's a section leader in Pitt, so
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
awesome to
Yeah.
like automatically enter college with a group of friends. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
It's
This year,
great. Yeah.
unfortunately, I'm not doing it because I'm applying for study abroad, and in order to do that, I need to save up a lot of money. And I thought, I don't think I can balance like work, band, and a challenging course load. So it's
Right.
also important
I
to know your
understand.
limit,
Hmm.
but at least I was like able to experience it once. And it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
And I'm
Mm,
definitely excited to see the pit and the band play at
me
the
too.
Macy's parade this
Yeah.
year.
I'm really thinking of going like to that because I've never been to the parade at all. I've always wanted to go even before I guess my days in band. But I guess when I was doing band, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if like and we got to go, and Rutgers is right there too. So it was so exciting being at the announcements when they announced it and how excited everyone is. I'm sure, that's the whole focus behind the scenes. I'm sure they have like some great shows and stuff planned. So I'm definitely gonna stop by for that. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I can't really do band either because I'm trying to do like announcing and I'd be at the games broadcasting at least some of them. So that's kind of like a big conflict. Although, I just feel like I might have a career in there, and as much as I love band, I don't see
Yeah,
myself doing that like my whole life or even music. But
same.
yeah. Although it's a lot of fun, even if you're a non-music student, I'd recommend it. It's a great experience. Like you can make a lot of friends, like especially in a section like ours. I think regardless of section, but especially where you're spending so much time away from other sections, and like doing your own stuff, and it's just chill. I mean, it's a lot more chill than like my high school band was, honestly. Like we made like a lot we played
Honestly,
like fun
same.
shows, but like we also made so much progress. The amount of music we picked up in a 1 week span, 2 week span is crazy. Like
It
we
was
learned
so
about genre.
fast. Like it was like
But there was like
one
no
song per
pressure though.
day,
That's
like
like
per practice or something. Like it
yeah.
was kind of
Mhm.
crazy.
But somehow we like managed
Yeah.
it and it was also chill at the same time, which was like it was like the best of both worlds. Like we're like making a lot of progress, we're learning stuff, but we're also having a good time and doing something we all enjoy. So definitely a great break from classes. It's, a great way to, relieve stress. Kind of finding like a similar experience at the radio station, but I mean yeah, in terms of band, I mean, that was great. I mean, I guess my favorite part as a huge sports fan was like being at the football games. I mean, being Friday practices were always exciting. Saturday practices, the walkthroughs, everyone was thinking about the game, like, or at least like the experience behind it. I mean, so those were more fun. Those were relaxed. Like we put the shows together for the first time there, and it was just kind of like we're gonna focus on all the stuff we're gonna do for the game. We're gonna do full halftime run-throughs, full pregame run-throughs, just make everything, you know, on game ready because we spent the whole week working on it. Now it's time to just put it together, get in good spirits. We'd go to the game for a 12 o'clock kick. We'd be at the game at like or we'd be at this practice field at like 7:30, and it was like really early. We had to wake up at 6, but uh, you know. I woke up tired, but like the second I got to the practice fields and walking through the tailgate, I was just like, everyone was excited. People were already throwing the footballs around, and barbecuing and whatnot. And, you could just feel like the vibe in the air. And I'm like, I'm like carrying my garment back to the stadium, and I'm just like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a great day today. And this is even like before I see you guys. Then I see you guys, we're unloading or doing whatever, and everyone's just in a great mood the whole day. And then obviously you do whatever, we do a little walkthrough. We go to the stadium and we unload. It's kind of a pain. We have to do all of that like 3 times, but like we have to load the trucks and unload it. But we have a good time. We talk. Then we eat. We as a section. I mean, we do the parade, which is always sometimes we miss the pep rally, but we catch that or like that, or sometimes the whole thing depends. And then we eat. We go to the parade. The parade's a really fun part for me because we get to like scream the chants and all of that stuff. So I mean, that was really fun. And doing pregame, everyone getting hyped for that, and then getting to watch it, prepare for halftime. I think a really underrated part for me was doing stand tunes, because like I was never really in the drum line, even though I guess initially I wanted to be before I decided to do like synthesizer. But like, in a way, it was like kind of like we're doing drumline-ish stuff, and also we're just you got to bang away at the drums as hard as like no one can like tell you to like not like do that. So I always like had a good time being like a rhythm section guy and just being able to just play them as long as I want, and having no one stop me. And it was a good time. We did all these silly things and all these chants, and getting to watch the game too. I mean, probably after halftime is probably the best because you're kind of done with all the hard work of the show, and being out there in front of so many people is a great experience playing shows that are like pop tunes and like this and that. Like I mean, I don't even remember, like we've done like so many cool ones. We did like I think the Office theme. I think that might have been 2 years ago. We've done like all sorts of like cool different things. But we did like the Title IX show with, like Beyonce and like Pink, and like that one was like my favorite probably. But we did so many like cool different shows like that. And then after all of that's done, the reward of it is you get to be in the stands for free. You get to watch the game. You get to be close up. You get to yeah, you get to just kind of chill. And even if the team's losing really badly or if they're winning, like sometimes they end up as blowouts, but you're just kind of hanging with your friends. You're just talking. You're just enjoying it. You're just relaxing. It's all the little things like that really like make that like the game day experience like the greatest, I feel like. So that's when I really got my passion for college football. I've always been so much more of an NFL guy, but like going through that, I really was like, wow, college football is like really amazing. And that was just at Rutgers, and then I started watching games all around the country. And like it's been like a thing. I'm like really, really excited this year for another college football season to kick off. But yeah, I mean that pretty much sums up like my time in the band, I guess. I mean, I was also kind of known as Graciano because I dressed up as him like a couple years ago, and then I kind of stuck through last year. So it was a whole thing. But like, I mean, I
Oh my
I
God,
enjoyed
I
it. I made the
remember
most out of
that.
that,
That was so funny.
It was, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
I
fun
dressed up as a farmer.
though.
You remember that?
Yeah, the Halloween summer. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was fun. Yeah, I'm
that
gonna
was a
miss
good
the band
time.
parties
Me too.
too.
The band parties were crazy. And also like, dining hall, post rehearsal hangouts. Those are always great because we'd all go as a section like,
What? I don't have a meal plan this semester.
oh, yeah, I was
So
like, oh, word.
yeah,
Yeah,
no
I always
dining
used to
hall for
go
me,
as
but
I always used
honestly
to
it's
go as a
better
guest because
because
like
I
I
cook
I'm,
better.
I commute, so like that was like the only time I'd really eat at the dining hall. So but like someone would be nice enough to swipe me in, and we always go and we'd have conversations, and we'd all kind of talk and hang out and meet as a section. So it was nice. I tried to do it like not every time, but like maybe once a week at least if I could, just to kind of keep that going. Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm gonna miss the panel. Definitely stop by, but it was definitely a good time, good experience. Something I definitely recommend if you're like, especially if you're interested in music and sports, or even one or the other.
Yeah.
If you're into music and
Yeah,
you like enjoy the
I'm
games,
only
then
interested in
definitely do it.
music,
But
not in sports, but it was still worthwhile.
even if you're really only into music,
Music.
it was great because we
Yeah,
played
it's
like all this
so
hard
worth it.
music and all these
Yeah.
fun shows, and like I said, friend circle like that. That was another thing that I really got out of that. And yeah, I mean, it really worked out for me because without band, I also probably wouldn't have joined the radio station because funny enough, I was on the bus, which I hardly take because I'm a commuter, but I was on the bus, um, with Pat, and we were going to like I think I think we were going to a band party, but like I saw the sign for like WRSU like on the bus, and they're like advertising like, do you want to call games? Do you want to like be a DJ or a news like reporter, like whatever? Because obviously there's also the music and the news departments at the radio station, which are pretty cool too, although I'm part of the sports department. But I mean, we each play a big role in coverage and whatnot. But so that's kind of like I was like, it sounds like what I wanted to do as like a dream career. I never really thought of doing it like for real, but I was like, it would be a good experience to have. And 2 years later, I guess, or 1 year later, last year kind of did a mix of both. But I mean, I'm starting to find my role, and I've done same thing like here. Like I've done crews, I've done like radio shows. I've met so many great people, and I've made a lot of friends that I talk to in and out of the station, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them all again. I mean, we just had a meeting actually, and like, we're getting geared up for the next school year. I'm on some productions very early on for the Northwestern game, Virginia Tech game, and I'm trying to go to the Temple game as a fan because that's going to be a really fun night game too. So yeah, it's going to be great. Kind of like, one thing leads to another. And like, so band kind of led me into this. And then, yeah, band led me into the radio station, which kind of led me into doing my own podcast because I want to, make myself as career ready as possible. Um, but also it's just fun. Like, I really enjoy it. We do sports episodes every week. And this is kind of the first non-sports episode, which I've kind of had the vision for. So I was just like, why don't I like try it out? And, here we are. So, I'm excited to see what the next steps are for me, I guess, personally. But I guess in terms of like career stuff, since we're talking about that, like like what are your like career aspirations in terms of like your major and your like what you want to do for a living?
So I'm studying nutrition, and my aspirations are I actually want to have my own like private practice. But before that, for nutrition, I have to go to grad school. But I've always wanted to go to grad school. Possibly, I also want to get a PhD. Um, Something I've always wanted to do. But yeah, I just want to like help people with their chronic conditions and also like help myself because that's part of the reason I'm studying nutrition. I got it into like diets and healthier eating because of my own personal health struggles. And so far, I really enjoyed my major, and I'm really looking forward to all the opportunities that it can offer. And also, my internship kind of reaffirmed my interest in nutrition because it was awesome to work at a lab and do like quality control and make sure that all the foods made in the factory were like safe to eat. And that was a really interesting process. And I think it's a really interesting career that I look forward to.
Yeah.
Um,
That sounds cool. Like
but
I
I'm
like.
also like
Mhm.
studying music. I'm also doing minoring in music.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I like music. Honestly, I don't know if I'll pursue it as a career, but I like writing songs and I really enjoy it as, a hobby. It's something
It's
I'm
always
passionate
fun. I
about.
still like to like play
Yeah,
piano from time to time, and like listening to music whenever I can, like mainly in the car and in the gym. So like music's always gonna be like a part of my life, I guess, especially since
yeah,
I played it
it's
for
important.
years. So yeah, I mean, I'm never gonna lose that side probably, even though I'm going more into like sports stuff. But yeah, no, it's yeah, that's cool. I've taken
What
some
else are
classes
you
in
looking
music
forward
too.
to
But,
this
wait,
year?
what? Um,
What else are you looking
oh,
forward to this year? Like now that you're 21, now that you
yeah.
can,
Oh, for real. Yeah.
I wish.
Probably like going to maybe I'll go to some more bars. I did go for my 21st birthday. I had like crazy experience um there. Yeah, I mean stuff like that. Maybe some parties. I don't know. Mostly radio station stuff, honestly. Like just calling games. Like it's kind of
That's
been a big
awesome.
thing for me. So I can't wait to do that. But yeah, I mean, I guess that kind of segues us into that last, our last thing for the show. So I mean, on my, 25th birthday, I kind of went to I went to the bar and we,
The juicy stuff.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I should like
So
say it
you
like
you
that
want
now.
relationship advice?
Sure, let's just jump into that because obviously yeah,
So
it's a big thing. But
I'm gonna be real. Dating in college, I mean dating in general is a shit show. So be prepared, know your worth, um, make mistakes, learn from those mistakes,
hmm
and
yeah, I
just
agree
try
with
to
that
become a
too.
better person. Like it's complicated because
It
now
really
there's like
is.
dating
Yeah.
apps. Plus, we go to a big school, so there's like so many options, and like people are really like afraid of commitment. I mean it's normal, we're young, but it's still like really hard to deal with for those people that do want to
Yeah.
commit. There's
Yeah. Yeah.
also the question of the issue of like hookup culture that's also very prevalent, especially at Rutgers. So yeah, just make whatever choices you want. Just be safe, be honest and clear with people. Like, don't ghost people. Don't do that. Just be honest and clear with people, with potential partners, with about what you want out of a relationship, or don't lead anyone on. Just it's important to communicate what you want
hmm
um in order to like benefit all the both parties involved. But yeah, do brace yourself. You are gonna grow a thick skin like with the dating process because it like teaches you the not so good side of humanity, like online especially, like people would treat you like you're an option because you are, and they treat everyone as replaceable, but that's not how you should treat people. Just treat people well. Be honest with them. Be clear about your intentions. Do you want a relationship? Do you not want a relationship? Do you want to have fun? Do you want to get to know someone? You know? And right now it's so complicated because there's all these little terms for like dating, like breadcrumbing, ghosting, situationship, friends with benefits. Like there's so much to navigate. Like, and I'm not saying that dating used to be better before because it wasn't. Like it was arguably the same or worse because before I'm sure you had less options. You were forced to marry someone or something like that. Right now you have too many options. People struggle to commit to each other, and that is a big problem in college campuses. So how you do that is you make the difference. You decide what you want, and not until you're ready. And don't let people into your lives until you're ready for it. Just focus on yourself. My best advice is to focus on yourself, get good grades, work out, be healthy, have friends, and you know, it's okay to want a relationship. That's completely normal. Like it's human, and don't beat yourself up for it. Just focus on you and it'll be fine. Like you will definitely meet someone eventually. Um, and it'll be fine. Like just be the best person you can be, and that's pretty much the relationship advice I have, what I've learned.
hmm
Um, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, yeah, I think that's very important to like, like you said, like know your value and like kind of communicate what you
Know your
want.
worth.
Yeah, exactly. And also, yeah, like you said, like you should definitely like express what you want and make it
Yes.
clear. You shouldn't like, play games or like lead other people on and like mislead them. And, you should just kind
Don't
of be
yeah, don't
honest
don't
and
mess with
do what
other
you want.
people. Just be like,
Just straight to the
and
point, I
also be
guess.
don't flake.
Yeah, and don't like ghost
Like
people and stuff like that.
instead of like asking, do you want to hang out sometime? Ask your potential partner or your potential date, hey, I'm free on so and so date. Do you wanna, for example, do you wanna um go get a beer on Saturday at 6 p.m. or something? And that's really specific.
hmm
Instead of saying, do you want to hang out sometime? Because no plans are gonna be formalized, you know what I'm
Sure,
saying?
sure, sure.
Um, so if that happens, if they say no, they're either not interested, or if they are interested, they're like, I can't, I'm busy that time, but we
Mm-hmm.
can do the same thing at,
At a different time.
I don't know, Sunday at 5 p.m. or something.
Right,
So that's also some important advice. And also, don't be afraid to let people know that you have feelings for them. Doesn't matter if you're a girl, if you're a guy, or neither of those. Just as long as you kind of know the person, just be like, hey, you're cute. I like you. Let's go out. Let's do something. Make that first move because you could be wasting years on one person that
sure.
doesn't like you just because you were afraid to tell them.
Yeah,
So the worst that they can say is no. It's happened to me. I've rejected people. I've been rejected by people. It hurts, but it's not the end of the world. Like you move on. Like
mm-hmm.
rejection literally makes you move on pretty fast. Like it could take some time, but you'll definitely be more open to exploring things with other people if you're like brave and if you're able to express your feelings and ditch the gender roles. Like the guy doesn't have to ask out first. Like the girl or the girl can ask out first. Like
Sure.
it's 2023. Like
Yeah. And you don't know like how many guys would like really appreciate that if girls would make the first move too.
yeah, like
You know what I mean?
they would.
Yeah,
And the worst part is they say no. Like it
sure.
sucks. It's
Yeah.
happened to me.
Hmm.
It's also really awkward to reject someone and
Yeah.
it
It's like
sucks.
hard both ways.
It's
Yeah.
hard both ways, but it's better than the alternative of what if of hanging on
Yeah,
for
I
years
really don't like
to
that.
that.
I really kind of like just want to get to the point. Like, no, I guess with that being
Just
said,
get to
like
the point.
you shouldn't rush it like too much, but if you know the person, like you could kind of,
You
make your
kind of, yeah.
intentions known like at that
Or
point, you know what I mean?
even if you're like at a party and you see like a cute person, just be like, hey, just talk
Yeah,
to them and just
that you
maybe
could
even say,
definitely do.
hey, you're cute. Let's and then, see where it goes from there. Like, so yeah, honestly, just I
Yeah,
guess that's like my advice. Like I have so much dating advice that I should start like a dating blog.
maybe.
Like honestly, but personally, I don't have a lot of like relationship advice. This is things I've learned like I guess through experience or through other people's experiences, like watching videos. Because I feel like this is an interesting topic,
It really is.
to
Yeah,
learn
it's just
about.
kind of why I wanted to have that on the first, episode of this new series. But yeah, I mean, yeah, personally,
And
like
also,
kind of the same way, I
it's
guess. Yeah,
no rush. There's no rush to get into a relationship. It's okay if you're in your late teens, if you're in your 20s, 30s or something,
sure.
and you've never been in a relationship, like that's normal. Or if you've never had your first kiss, that's also normal. Like it's better to wait to have your first kiss
Yeah,
or first relationship with the right person than to have a shitty first relationship. And I'm speaking from experience. So don't rush it. Know your worth and you will be okay.
yeah, yeah. I think that those are all great tips. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I guess for myself, like, I don't know, I kind of have like a nickname at the radio station, like called the Rizzler. So, more related to like my skills on the basketball court than, the relationship stuff. But I mean, personal experience, I guess, is just, yeah, like kind of like what you said, just, don't be afraid to express yourself. Obviously, like, give it some time, you want to develop friendship, you want to get to know someone a little bit, but after that, like, I mean, don't be afraid to, say how you feel. Like, what's the worst the other person could say? Like, no, right? So, you know what I mean? And then
No.
it might hurt for a little bit, but you
I
got to
mean,
move on.
actually, the worst thing they can
Yeah.
say is ew.
Oh, well,
The worst thing
yeah.
they can
See,
say
that's
is
never happened
ew.
to me before.
That
So
would, that
that's
would,
kind of rude,
but
but
that's
yeah,
shit. Like that's like an
that's rude.
instant turn off.
Yeah.
So you're better off without them either
You're right.
way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You're right. So that's really like all I've got. Also, just be yourself. I think you can only be yourself or be the best version of yourself. Like you shouldn't try to be someone else just to impress someone or like for any other
no.
reason. So, you can be yourself.
Yeah.
If you have, you have a good personality, everyone does in their own way, and people will be attracted to that. So that's what you should focus on. Like focus on your own life, doing what you want and your own things, and people will see what you bring to the table and how great a person you are. So, I mean, that's honestly the best relationship advice I can give. I'm no expert, but it's always a
Facts.
fun subject to talk about. And yeah, I mean, well, thanks for coming on, Audrey. I really enjoyed the conversation. I hope other people will, and I hope some people learn something that they can
Thanks
apply
for
in
the
their own
invite.
life. Yeah, you're welcome. So, this is
Yeah.
the first episode
Thank
of,
you. This was
of
nice.
mm, yeah. So this has been the first episode of a new mini series called Just Vibing. I'm not sure when the next episode will be. I'm willing to bring in other guests, but stay tuned for another sports episode coming probably this Saturday. So I'll let you know on that. But as always, have a great week, and we will see you next time.